This is Tom Meyer coming with this week's Believe in the Blue update from the Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa. Want to let you know of a few things going on that way, and then get to our comment highlights of the board meeting from last evening. We have tomorrow we have varsity boys golf sectionals that way. I want to wish Connor Mickles and the rest of the team very good fortune. Connor was seventh place in the River Valley Conference meet last night. That is an extremely good accomplishment, so congratulations to Connor. Also want to wish our boys and girls track teams well. They are competing in their regionals today. The girls are at Tipton and the boys are at Central City. Some upcoming events going on. Sunday evening at 5 o'clock, we have our high school awards evening. On Monday, we have our middle school and high school vocal concert. That's grades 6 through 12. And then on Tuesday, the 17th, we have our middle school and high school band concert, also grades 6 through 12. May 27th is our last day of school for students for the school year. Amazingly, our graduation is on May 28th at 8 o'clock. So just be aware of that. I encourage you to come out to that Saturday evening for that way. Our seniors will finish up that Wednesday before, and also that last week of school, the 23rd through the 27th, we will have baseball and softball games nearly every day with our high school students, and obviously youth programs have started already. Want to wish them luck. They're playing some games out here as well, as long as at Cole Park and also at Ensign Fields. And they've all been redone, been a great community effort by everyone involved with that, including the Bellevue High School students and several staff members that way. Tim Roth, Brett Ernst, Kurt Ernst, Leah Wetzel, as teachers and helpers, instructors, have been very helpful with that project, along with multiple students that way. Just a wonderful job by everyone involved that way. Getting to some other things happening that way as well. We will have some other events next week. We have state track going on next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Drake, at the Drake Stadium in Des Moines. And we also have girls regional golf at Jessup on Monday. So anyway, some information about the board meeting last night. I want to go through some of this stuff fairly quickly, hit some of the big things here. We had some resignations. We had Judy Kilberg as an elementary associate resigning, Sherry Faust resigning as a bus driver, Janet Carrier, a substitute food service cook. Derek Sturdivant, our K through 12 music teacher, has taken another position at the Charles City Schools. He is a great teacher and will do a wonderful job up there as well. It's strictly a high school position, so a great opportunity for him. Really looking forward to it, but he's offered us a great service here during his time. So thank you very much, Derek. Jack Grutz, former teacher here, resigned from that, other coaching stuff, and now he's resigned his final basketball thing at the final position with us, at this time at least, middle school girls and boys basketball. He's resigning that. And then Mark Rudin is resigning halftime of high school assistant football coach. He's going to take on the middle school football coach for one part of it, but also still be involved with the high school for another half. So we will be advertising for a half a position for assistant football coach at the high school level. Some other recommendations to hire besides Mark Rudin for the middle school football coach. Chet Kinake will be our head boys basketball coach. And then summer help right now, we've hired two people for that, Alec Rubel and Kelsey Ernst. The board certified the graduates that way. We have 52 graduates this year, or 52 that are planning on graduating, pending meeting all requirements, obviously, and hopefully that will all happen for everybody. We had some wonderful student presentations from Mrs. Kilberg's class. Eli Witt, Griffin Benson, Robin Stillmunkus, and Connor Dunn did an outstanding job sharing about some of their passions and learning, all relating to the 1930s and connected to World War II. Connor Dunn was on culture. Griffin Benson was on propaganda. Robin Stillmunkus was on a doctor who performed experiments. And then Eli Witt talked about Jesse Owens in the Olympics that way, and how equality and things like that were never quite there for him. So very, very, I guess I'll say outstanding presentations by these students. Pure and simple, outstanding presentations. Some of the best presentations we've ever had at our board meeting. So I just want to compliment them and Mrs. Kilberg for having them do that as well. We approved some fees for next year. Our instructional fee, or otherwise known in the past as book rent, that instructional fee or instructional materials rent will remain the same. $30 for K through 2, $35 for grades 3 through 5, $40 for grades 6 through 8, and $45 for grades 9 through 12. Preschool fee, obviously, for 4-year-olds is free. 3-year-olds we did raise from $300 to $320 per semester. There is no fee for transition kindergarten, regardless. Nutrition service prices, we had not raised those for about 3 years. We are raising some of those, 10 cents right now. Breakfast will raise 10 cents from $1.50 to $1.60. In our lunch will raise also from 250 to 260. Some other increase in there for adults and things like that. But I just want to let you know that. One-to-one computer fees will raise from $25 to $30 this year. We will also be allowing students, if they want to have their own bag to carry them in, they're welcome to do that. School will also provide a bag if needed. We're also beginning a bring your own device program. If people want to bring their own device, the only qualifications for that is that it has to have a keyboard with it, not just on the screen, but a detachable keyboard or a keyboard embedded in it that way. So a phone, a smartphone, or whatever you have, this is not a bring your own device. Everyone brings one of these, but this is not what we're going to be typing on all day and working on all day. So just so you're aware of that way. The board also approved some summer projects and wants some information on some summer projects. One of those projects was resealing the track. It is 10 years old. Usually in 8 to 9 years, we need to do a resurface on it with a new sealant. It's not tearing everything up or things like that. It's just filling in some gaps where some granules are coming off it. And so we will be doing that. That was approved last night through Midwest Tennis Company in Denison, Iowa. Also, some other highlights that we are going to be getting some more collaborative furniture for some elementary grades and for some high school classrooms as well, predominantly more in the elementary, up to possibly 3 grades or 6 rooms there, depending on how things work financially for us that way. We also talk about some green space at the elementary where the basketball courts are at and where people used to park at times. So that is something we're looking at too. I shared the graduation rate. State of Iowa has the highest graduation rate once again in the nation. Bellevue Schools was right up there towards the top of Iowa. We were at 96.5%. That's slightly down from last year. We had some students who did not graduate with our school last year but did graduate. They do count against us that way. Our dropout rate is still well below the state average of 2.48%. Ours was at 1.20%, and that's actually the first year we've been in the above 1% in several years, in about 8 years that way, or 9 of the 10 last years we have not been. Graduation rate across the state of Iowa was 90.8%. We're at 96.5%. Just give you some numbers in the past where we've been. 100%, 95.8, 100%, 96.0, 98.2, and then like I said, this year we're at 96.5%. So our students are graduating, and hopefully they're prepared for life after high school, and we believe that they are. I shared some school finance information, one of those being our spending authority or unspent balance. We are doing well with that. We will likely not have to dip in and go below where we were at last year at this time, which is a key. So that's a very good thing for the district. We have been watching our finances, but we also recognize we have to continue to watch them, and we'll watch those in the future as well. There is, with declining enrollment, lack of state funding, and things similar to that, we do have some issues in the future here with funding, and we will look to correct those, look to work on those in the upcoming years that way, but it's in good shape right now, and we plan on keeping it that way through a multitude of methods that way. The school board also approved some renewals with the Iowa School Board Association, National School Board Association, and the Iowa School Finance Information Corporation information system, for the school year that helps with the finance information, is general school information as a whole. We shared some things about National School Board time, and I'll share some of those. National School Board Convention, I'll share some of that stuff in a little bit. The board is also going to evaluate the superintendent for his annual summative evaluation in June. Legislative update, just kind of talked, the legislative session ended. We ended up with 2.25% financing. Some other things here that we talked about as well. We talked about graduation coming up on May 28th. We also talked about employee insurance. All employees who work 20 plus hours are given the opportunity to have insurance right now, and that is a cost to non-teachers or non-certified staff, but it is an opportunity for them to have some insurance, which for many people is very important that way. So that is something we're offering them, and that's part of the Affordable Care Act as well, so everyone recognizes that. The principal shared a few things too. Mrs. Hartung Schrader talked about grade level reading and some things with that, and that was a wonderful program that is getting started in Jackson County. Thank you to Linda Nudd, former Bellevue Elementary principal here, and the leader of the grade level reading committee, or one of the leaders of the grade level reading committee in Jackson County, for her work at that. I just want to thank her. If you see her, please thank her. There's a multitude of other people as well, but that was just one of those people. Mr. Raker also shared about the Silver Cord program. About 41 students took part in that this year of volunteering outside. The seniors will be wearing a silver cord with their cap and gown. And we also talked about the awards night coming up as well, inviting people in. Really the thing that has been talked about a lot is the whole choice and enthusiasm when students have a choice in their learning that happens. So it's great to see students with choices, and Mrs. Kilberg's passion projects, or those projects where they could study whatever they wanted to, really came through as an exciting thing for students. And they used absolutely no note cards. They knew exactly what they were talking about and did an outstanding job. National School Board Association Conference here. I have a few notes here I just want to share real quick. Successful Practice Network, we were a part of that, and they have stated that 76% of high school students have smartphones. Sounds kind of amazing. Then I started thinking, I have a son who's a senior, obviously, and I started thinking, well, most people in his class have a smartphone as well, so that number is possibly lower than what it is here. Also, Robin Roberts talked about the aspect of put yourself in position to be successful. She talked about some life stories that way. Dan Rather was there, talked about how while STEM is very important, we also cannot forget about some of the other civics things and the fine arts and the extracurriculars that way as well. Those are also important to everyone. And then I hit another highlight with Doug Reeves, who talks about creativity, and we need to be promoting creativity with our students and having students working with each other. So a lot of times people think creative students need to work on their own and just leave them alone. He says, no, they need to work with other people so they can get more ideas and build on those ideas as well and share their thoughts and learning. So anyway, I'm keeping under 12 minutes today. Usually it's under 5, but the board meetings always take a little longer to review. If anyone has any questions, anything like that, please let us know. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend, and hopefully it stopped raining for a few days. Have a great one.